MollyMay, will you come out to play? Your smile takes the edge off of the day, and you're a light that brightens.
This is MollyMay, a Bod Pause Pod and other nice stuff with me, MollyMay. Hi, Jibish. I'm here. It's MollyMay, and I sound a little sexy today. I just got off the phone with Molly McGrain, one of my best buddies, and she told me to use it. She's like, you record with peak allergy season because the raspy is sexy. She's like, go do some karaoke. You can't waste this. I was like, oh, I'll go record and we'll have it forever. So my allergies are in peak season, which I don't understand. Adult allergies. I've never had them. Like, I literally didn't have them last year. But, like, I woke up 2 days ago, and it felt like like I had a popcorn kernel stuck in my nasal cavity for, like, an entire day. And then this happened. I mean, I could have had a popcorn kernel stuck in there, but it's not. It's just the onslaught of Hell Week. It feels like popcorn kernels in my nasal cavity. Cute. So I'm here, and I'm listening with one ear, snorting boogers like I'm on drugs. So cute for all of us. But I have a buddy here today, and because I have a buddy, I'm not gonna swear today. So get your drinks ready. Last time I said I wasn't gonna swear, we played a drinking game. So my buddy who is here today has played a myriad of roles in my life for my entire life. What to wear to this thing, how to wear this thing. She's my Pantone color of the year expert. My what's up with the royal family this week expert. My let's make a karaoke party in grandma's basement instead of playing cards at Christmas buddy. And my all in all pop culture queen. There was once a time in my life that we were even pen pals, and I made an iron-on, like those little beads that you place on a plastic thing and you iron them, and I made that of her face and I mailed it to her. Ladies, and the one guy that listens, hi Johnny, here to talk about all things plaid, Sara McCoy.
Hi.
Sara Plaid and Tall.
So much better than plain and tall.
Oh my God, I love it. Hi.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
I know, this is so great. Tell me what you're wearing.
Well, I mean, I know this is not a visual medium, but I'm wearing plaid.
This is so perfect.
Yeah, I found a cute plaid, kind of a summery light colored.
It's so good.
Yeah.
You're always so good. So as I was coming up with my notes for this week, like, you've been in my life my entire life, and I was like flooded with so many memories. And we have a lot of plaid memories, which is really interesting. Do you remember when you took me school shopping?
Yes, at the Mall of America. I'm thinking you were third grade, and your mom was like, buy Molly some school clothes and gave me your credit card. I was like, okay.
And I remember you were like, the Mall of America is not good right now, so we're going to Roseville.
Right. Well, it was closer, and they had the same stores. And we went to Justice, and there was a plaid dress.
This is the memory I had today. It's amazing. With black knee-high socks.
Yes.
Oh my God. I forgot about that literally until today.
Did you really?
I remember that outfit.
It just came back to me too. But yeah, it was like just the cutest, and it just was so perfect with your beautiful red, long, curly hair. And it was like, you're just like this little Irish, Scottish, of German descent. And it just worked.
And it was like this, it was like the classic red plaid pleat. I loved it. And I think it was the first pair of knee-high socks I ever had.
Well, it was fun to dress you. You were like
felt
my
really cool in it.
Little sister I never had.
I love it. Patrick.
Sorry, I did dress up my brother too, but I mean, I was like, how old? I am 16 years older than you.
Yeah, we just did that math.
Yeah. So, I mean, I went to the hospital when you were born.
You
and
did?
Saw you, yes.
You did?
Yes.
Cute. No, I had no idea.
Yeah. Your yeah, your mom had you in Rochester, so
Oh my God.
let's go down and meet your new cousin.
That explains our connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I missed that. Sara Plaid and Tall and I are cousins.
Yes.
And I just gave her the nickname just now, Sara McCoy. The fun thing is when we are together, we refer to ourselves as the McMays,
Yes.
which is so fun. So fun fact, I married a McMahon. So my official name is Molly Margaret May McMahon, but for all things talent, I'm MollyMay. So I am now Irish, Scottish, full on the McCoy Mac train. And I'm so excited to learn about plaid from you.
Oh, I'm happy to help you along the way.
And also, like, we were recently talking about plaid, and like a half hour went by. We were going to the Fringe Fest shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, stop. We have to stop. You need to come on the pod because I did not know that I could talk about plaid for 45 minutes straight. Like, this is so rich. It was so good. I'm so excited to learn from you. So I want to dive in with my what I can't take off this week and who to follow on Insta and what else? Song of the week. So what I can't take off this week, and I think it's a perfect tribute having you here right now. Sara and I lost our uncle and my godfather this week, Johnny Sullivan, and I have been wearing this dad cap that his family had made for his 80th birthday last year. And it's just, he was such a tender-hearted, such a kind man. And in our family, we're a really big family, and we have, our parents have done such an amazing job of keeping us all close and really connected. How many grandkids are there? 30, 25, 30?
27, 28.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, there's a lot of us.
Yeah. And it's, Johnny Sullivan was a big loss. And this dad cap, so my cousins, Johnny Sullivan's kids, approached me and they're like, hey, we want to do something cool for Dad's 80th. Like, let's make a cool t-shirt. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, I've never seen Johnny Sullivan wear a t-shirt. Like, he was a polo guy. And it's like, he loved baseball caps. Was always wearing a baseball cap.
He liked getting them for free as well.
Yes.
Any trade show, someplace, he'd ask for 2.
2?
Yeah, you take it out 2. So you nailed it with
I love that.
The dad cap was the perfect Johnny Sullivan.
Yeah, and
tribute.
we had like 3 designs we were going to do. Like, one was just a big S for Sullivan, and one had just like a big 80 on it. And then I was like, no, Johnny Sullivan is such a cool name. And I was like, send me what his signature looks like. And it's like this, it's just a really great John J. Sullivan signature. It's almost like Eddie Bauer-esque.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good. And it's like the perfect olive green. And yeah, I've been wearing it all week long. Love you, Johnny Sullivan.
To Johnny Sullivan.
To Johnny Sullivan. What's your what you can't take off?
Well, obviously the plaid shirt that I'm wearing, I bought it at the Gap outlet, and it was screaming my name, and it's just comfortable and pretty, and just
it is. It's a good plaid. What would you call this plaid?
I don't know, because it's just like a medium blue and a red.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of just plaid.
It's a good classic.
What every other guy at the state fair that I saw yesterday was wearing. It was getting silly. I was like, plaid. And then I was like, stop it. They're all wearing plaid.
How many times have you worn it this week?
3.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I just like wore it the next day after I bought it. And then I went to Chicago over the weekend, and I'm like, well, this is a cute shirt to wear. Like, and then today.
So good.
Yeah.
It's the makings of a good shirt.
Yeah.
Kudos on buying something from Gap Outlet that doesn't smell like bad breath.
So true.
The last time that I bought anything from Gap, even like I'll wash it 10 times and I'm like, what is that smell? What is that smell? And then I'm like, oh my God, it's these fake denim pants I'm wearing.
Here's what I think it is. Gap, God bless them. They're not a sponsor, are they?
No, wouldn't that be great? Hi, Gap. Here I am to talk about how your clothes smell
I
bad.
just think they keep their clothes in warehouses for 10 years and then they bring them back out again because it's always the same trends, right? Tan pants, white cotton shirt, plaid shirts.
Very Larry David.
Yeah, and then they just kind of rotate them back. I'm like, that's not new, but I'll still buy it.
What was that trend that I'm forgetting of? Normcore. Very normcore. Gap was like the leading edge of normcore. It was like khakis and like a gray crew neck sweater and a plain dad cap.
Yes.
And like brandless, shoeless, Velcro only tennis shoes. Normcore, Larry David.
Yeah, you know where you can get like the most boring clothes?
The Gap.
The Gap. Sorry, Gap.
Sorry, Gap. Okay, my song of the week. I'll never forget. You had made me an all-Irish, great effect on my entire life. You had made me one of the first burnt CDs that I ever had, and it was all Irish and Scottish songs. And I remember sitting on the Dixon lawnmower in the garage. It was raining. And sometimes I would go, I wasn't in the garage, I was in the shop. Sometimes I'd go in there and sit just to like get away and have my moments. Fun fact, I learned my entire recorder songbook sitting on our Dixon lawnmower in the shop in like 2 nights. This is a very special space. And I think that was the first time that I had heard the Bay City Rollers Saturday night, and it's like the really good clapping jam, because it's on the movie Mike Myers' So I Married an Ex-Murderer. So that was gonna be my song. Like, kid, move your head.
It's like an orange on a toothpick. I can't do an accent.
It's like an orange on a toothpick. I can't either, but it's fun to try.
Right. Such a like all-time favorite comedy of mine.
Yeah. He's going to go to bed tonight and cry himself to sleep on his huge pillow.
Yes, because I mean, you like indicated you had some like interest in plaid and things Irish and Scottish, so I went with it. Like, this girl's gonna like, I'm gonna teach her things.
Yeah. So I did some research, and they are from the UK. And so I was like, it's interesting that that character loved the Bay City Rollers so much because he was really into haggis and his Irish Catholicness.
Right. Well, I mean, there weren't that many Scottish bands at the time, probably, that were big hits.
So I changed my song, and you had also, a few Christmases later, had given me a DVD of Sean Connery starring in the Disney classic Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Oh, yeah.
And Sean Connery sings in it. And I had like... So my dad always loved 007, and I'd watch them with him. And like 1963, Dr. No, Sean Connery was like, I was like, oh, this guy's cute. And Sean Connery has always been a love of mine. And yours too. Like, well, you understood my crush on Sean Connery.
We celebrate his birthday. We have celebrated his birthday.
How old is he now?
Old. I don't... Mid-80s? Not
still
old.
Looking cute.
Just, yeah, I mean, but I just thought, you know, well, this girl likes this kind of older, crusty guy. Let's let her experience him, like, in his handsome young prime and in a musical, which, I mean, that's you.
And
you and your musicals.
Sings. He sounds like $1 million. But the song that I really love, I couldn't find it on Spotify, but I think it's called My Darling Irish Girl. And he is like with one of those sickle, like double-sided machetes, like mowing the lawn.
Right.
And
being a farm work.
Oh my God, so cute. And he's talking about how like this Irish lass's eyes are glistening, and then the female lead comes up and is like peeking around trees all cute. Never met a Sean Connery I didn't like.
No.
Darby
No.
O'Gill and the Little People is no exception. Oh, he's 78?
Wow.
That is young.
I mean,
He's only 78?
he's timeless, you know.
Wow.
If you think about, I mean, in like The Highlander, if we're going to talk about.
What?
He's,
I literally got speechless. What do you think Sean Connery is doing right now?
I heard he retired to like the Caribbean or something.
Oh, chic for him.
But
Twine the nose.
I mean, he is living the life. I mean, he's like retired from the public eye. Maybe he's not well. I don't know.
He should come back and do some voiceover work. Oh, he's 98.
Okay.
That makes more sense. He was 78 20 years ago.
Right.
When I really fell in love with him,
Yeah.
he was 78.
We're all about the 78-year-olds when you were 20 years younger.
Cute. Oh, what's your song?
Okay, so ever since we started talking about doing this together,
Yeah.
and I just like going through my journey, my plaid journey, it had to be Big Country by Big Country, which was the Scottish band of the 80s, which was my adolescence. So the band was great. They all wore plaid shirts like they should, and they were just darling. And the song just evokes this magical Scottish vibe.
I love it. It is. It's like a classic. Do they have bagpipes?
Yeah, the bagpipes. It's either bagpipes or their guitars sound like bagpipes. I'm not sure how they did that,
Oh,
but it was a very
we need more of that effect.
Yeah,
Cute.
yeah. It was they were so cute.
How many are in the band?
It might have been like 4, and like 2 of them looked like they could have been brothers.
Do they clap? I love a musical family.
No, they just hop. It's just a very springy, hoppy, jiggy kind of thing.
I adore that.
I mean, like when you hear that, like, then put yourself in a high school gym and that song comes on, everyone just starts like 80s dancing, but like in a more up and down kind of
very
motion.
spry.
Yeah, very spry.
That's so great.
Yeah,
I love that. More Big Country. I think I need to listen.
I think so. They might have had 2 hits.
Two's
Maybe.
enough.
Yeah,
2's great.
yeah.
2's better than 1.
And like name your band after the song.
Right? It's like Molly by Molly.
Yeah. No one's going to forget. Who sang that song by Big Country?
Big Country.
Ah.
The biggest country.
Yes.
My who to follow this week, and I thought that I had already touched on it because she's so good, is Ashley Mary Art, and she is local to the Twin Cities. She's a painter, and her color palettes and her forms and her abstract painting are so juicy. And I got to thinking, like, what if, and she paints with a palette knife, which I really love. So it gives like all of her painting like this really rich texture.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, God, how sexy would it be if Ashley Mary Art created a giant plaid painting? So this is like my call. Maybe Ashley Mary Art will hear this someday and create a giant plaid painting. Just because like no one can color scheme like she does. She's so rich and bold without it being like an eyesore. Like she can effectively use 10 colors, and I'm like, ooh, max at 5. You know, she's divine. And her Instagram stories are really great. She has really great fashion, and she like always paints in these cool outfits too. And I'm like, wow, you're good. You're good if you can paint in cool clothes.
And not get the paint on your cool clothes.
Right. Or like do because it looks cool.
Right. If you're using the right colors, it's always going to look awesome.
Yeah, she's good. Who's your who to follow?
Well, I stumbled upon this travel blog / Instagram account called Flinternational. It's this interior decorator that's HGTV famous named Brian Patrick Flynn. And I was following him.
What an Irish name.
Oh, I know. He's ridiculous. So I'm following him because I just think his interiors are great, and he always uses plaid. Like, and he does more of a masculine.
You had me follow him recently.
I did. So all of a sudden he's like in Scotland at his sister's wedding. Like she got married in Scotland in a castle. and he's got a kilt, and his whole family's all involved, and they're darling, and the beauty of it all. And then he takes on these trips. So he's all of a sudden he's going to the Shetland Islands, and then he's over in Ireland, and then he's in Norway, and then he's in Greenland, and then he's in Iceland, and then he's like in the Faroe Islands. And I'm just like, dude, first of all, slow down. And but the beauty of it all. And it's just like, it all started with a Scottish castle wedding that I just could not stop watching his stories.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think this is the person I'm thinking of. I'm not on my phone, right? Meow. But did he have
Did you say right meow?
How many times can we say meow? I also did watch Super Troopers the other day.
Okay.
Meow, meow. Are you having fun? Meow. I think you sent me a post where he had was it a yellow plaid wallpaper? Am I making that up? That might have been Molly McGrain.
I don't know. I mean, he definitely would have put something like that in one of his interiors for sure.
So juicy.
Yeah.
You see, you guys, you have the same effect on my brain as my best friends do. And this was one of the things that I was thinking of today. I remember being drunk with you. It was maybe 5 years ago, and we were getting in a car, and I was like, Sara McCoy, you know what's cool is you're not just my cousin. I think you're my friend.
It's true, though.
You're not just my cousin. You're my friend. It's like, you're forced to be my friend first.
Presents.
Presents. That's precious. Did your love of plaid start before or after school uniforms?
I'm definitely going to say before, because I know. And a couple of things, like my dad's mom, my grandma McCoy, who's 100% Irish, she rocked plaid very well. And so growing up, Christmases, and of course you have pictures that show that, so it helps your memory. But yeah, she had these fabulous, she would have one of those early 70s floor length plaid skirts with a red blouse.
Oh my God.
And
oh my God.
Yeah. And then I've actually have a couple wool. I have a wool skirt of hers that was a Pendleton, and then also a wool jacket that was also Pendleton. And those things last forever. And I'm like, can I have these? And no one else wanted them. I'm like, why doesn't anyone else want Grandma's old plaid clothes?
Oh my God.
But I still have them.
Amazing.
In my closet. So yeah. And then also,
can you send me pics?
Yes.
Oh,
I will send you all the pics. But also I grew up in a neighborhood that was just blocks from our Catholic church and school.
Yeah.
And I was the youngest girl in the neighborhood. There was lots of big families, but they were all older. And so I would watch the girls going off to school in their plaid uniforms. And I, of course, thought that was what I aspired to, and that's all in your little bubble of the world you grew up in. Yeah. So turns out I ended up having to wear all those hand-me-downs pretty much through.
You didn't even get new plaid?
No. 1st through 8th grade, I was probably wearing, they were never new to me.
Oh, but I love this image I have in my head right now of cute little Sarah, looking out her bay window. When I grew up, I just want to wear plaid. So
and
cute.
Knee highs
Yeah.
and sensible leather shoes and a white blouse underneath.
What was your school uniform?
It was a jumper that was in a Black Watch plaid.
What is Black Watch?
Black Watch is navy and dark green.
Oh, why do they call it Black Watch?
Well, apparently, the British and the Scottish didn't always get along. So the British, they took over a lot of things. And one of the things is the Black Watch plaid became the plaid of their military uniforms.
Oh.
So that's, and I'm guessing the word Black Watch is probably tied into some sort of military term, right?
It does. It sounds very
Black Watch, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a name for a pattern.
No. So at first when you said Black Watch in my head, I was thinking houndstooth.
No.
I'm like, houndstooth is not plaid.
No, I mean, if we want to have a different conversation,
come back and we'll talk houndstooth.
Houndstooth.
I've never understood why it's called houndstooth.
I don't know. We'd have to probably fox hunt as well. If we talked about students.
Sound the bugles. Is Black Watch, does it have like the yellow thin?
No, it's interesting though. Black Watch plaid was like the uniform plaid, and like there was 2 other Catholic schools in Rochester, and they had different plaids.
Oh my God, dueling plaids.
Yeah, they were dueling plaids, and like St. Pius.
Yeah,
St. Pius Chiefs had also has changed their name.
That's good.
No longer Chiefs.
That's good.
But we had by far the best plaid. The other schools had like some had some browns in them, and the other one was just a little bit more green with not as cute.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they changed the uniform like in my junior high years, and they added a stripe of yellow and a stripe of red.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's a name, but they just spiced it up a little bit with
more complex,
more color, more options for turtlenecks.
The British got mad that you were taking on their Black Watch.
Right. They're like, I'm sorry, the royal family just sent a letter asking us to cease and desist
on this Black Watch plaid.
That's only for the military.
So growing up wearing school uniforms, I was always fascinated by it because I went to a super small Catholic school and we didn't have school uniforms, and I always wanted one. How do you think that like shaped your style now?
Well, I mean, I think you grow up and like all the girls are wearing exactly what you're wearing, which, I mean, fundamentally, I think uniforms are a pretty cool idea. I can imagine my parents were pretty happy about it, especially my mom not having to fight every morning with what I was going to wear.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think just kind of knowing, like, that was just my norm. You know, I didn't know anything else. You know, like I said, my whole neighborhood pretty much went to the same school, and my older sister, who, you know, you kind of usually want to copy your older sister.
Right.
And so I think it just was just like that was what I was comfortable with. And like maybe some people probably that I'll be connecting with at the end of next month for my class reunion probably hate plaid. They probably hate it because they had to wear it, you know.
Yeah.
Probably, you know, it's either you love it or you don't. And so like me growing up, like having this beautiful Irish grandma who just loved plaids.
It meant more to you.
It did. It meant like.
You have a plaid heart.
I had a plaid heart. I had a place to a belonging to that.
It meant more to you. It wasn't just an outfit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also love the idea of like waking up in the morning and not being like, I don't have any clean clothes, or like what's on the chair that's like half clean, half dirty. Can I wear that? But like also, I'm notoriously late for everything. I will be sitting at home 2 hours before an event starts, ready to go, and then I'm still somehow 10 minutes late.
It's because you're creative.
Really? Is that a thing?
Yes, because you can't stop thinking about all the things you want to do.
Oh.
It's true.
That's nice to have your backing on that.
Just walk in late and just don't ever say you're sorry. Just say, Sara's creating.
Thanks for your patience with my epic lateness always, Mom. I was voted most likely to show up late for commencement.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a thing. I was late.
They probably created that category just for you.
That and class clown, surprise.
Yeah.
So I feel like that kind of made up for it.
Definitely.
It was like, oh, she's always late and she's an incredible distraction. Wow, Molly.
She's going to walk in and be hilarious. At the same
and
time.
wearing sweatpants. So like I was always late. So I'd be like, oh my God, I got sweatpants. I wear sweatpants to school all the time. So I can't imagine what it would be like to wake up and be like, I get to put on this plaid jumper because I have to. And like how that would affect my mood, because I always say you cannot have a good day in sweatpants, and how you dress affects your mood.
Definitely. If
I would have been a better student.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you don't like what you're wearing and you're not feeling good in it, it's going to affect your mood. Well, yeah, not having to think about it. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a very on-time person really either, but I never was late for school.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well done. Wow. You're always incredibly punctual. But you are also a creative.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we're always just excited to hang out.
I think that's why. I think that the things that I get together to see you for are like, plus I'm not a morning person.
Yeah. I made the excuse for a long time that we would feed calves stupid early on the farm growing up. And when I had to do it before school, you'd wake up at 3:00, you'd do chores for 3 hours, and then I'd try to sleep for half an hour, 45 minutes, and that's no. So then on those days, I'd walk into school and be like, oh, I had to feed calves. And that was forgiven. But the other days, I wasn't feeding calves every day. Like, they knew. They knew when it wasn't my day. So as my resident plaid expert, I kind of want to get down to the basics because I have a lot of confusion on what makes a plaid versus like an argyle or a flannel. Like it's always confused me. And like apparently houndstooth, we just opened that. Right.
Houndstooth and argyle, like
Are they technically plaid? What makes a plaid a plaid?
Okay, so first of all, back it up. Plaid?
Yeah.
And tartan.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm just going to throw a little loop in there, right?
Yeah.
So plaid is what North Americans call tartan.
Oh.
So
I just got chills, Sara McCoy.
So, I mean, I thought they were just interchangeable terms, but just note to self, next time you go over to Scotland, do not say plaid.
Wow.
It's tartan.
So why do we call it plaid?
I think it's just how there's all sorts of different terms that the North Americans say versus the old country.
Wow.
I don't really know where that came from, but I do know that you talked about flannel.
Yeah.
Plaid and flannel. Plaid's a pattern.
Yeah.
Flannel's a texture.
Yeah.
Fabric. But a lot of plaid is done in flannel.
Got it. So and I have this a theory in my head that argyle is just like half plaid turned 45 degrees.
It is kind of like a very extreme close-up of a plaid pattern, like of the crisscrossiness, and that's probably because argyle is also Scottish.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they were done in that same manner with the same way that they were woven, because like tartans are made of, their origination was they were made in regions and using local dyes, like natural dyes. I mean, we're talking old, like hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Yeah. So maybe that same workmanship somehow developed into argyles as well. Like, I don't know. I did not do my research on argyles, so
no, I didn't ask you to. I'm really throwing this in there. It's almost like an abstraction of plaid.
Right, it is.
It's like the Ashley Mary art version of plaid.
Sure.
Argyle.
So Ashley, we'd be okay if you did a giant argyle painting as well.
Cute. So you have done a lot of family research on the McCoy tartan, or not a lot, but you know what the McCoy tartan is.
I know because I knew, like, just in my interest in plaid, that families have a plaid assigned to their name.
Which is fascinating.
It is fascinating. So I went to Scotland early 2000s and like was just dying over everything. And so like I was just in Edinburgh and we went to like a kilt store and there was like the McCoy plaid, which actually, so McCoy is Irish. We're an Irish family, but the Scottish version is McKay. So like the MC is a very Scottish and Irish last name. So McKay is like what maybe McCoy used to be. And so then I just glommed onto that. I'm like, that's my plaid. And so I got like a tie for my dad that's in the plaid. And it's just like a navy and green. I mean, it's nothing crazy.
Like a black watch?
It is, but it's like lighter blue. So it's not navy blue. It's like a medium blue, and it's very pretty.
Oh, nice. I'm learning so much. So is the McCoy, which is Scottish,
Yes.
and is the McKay, is that MC or MAC?
I've seen it both ways.
Okay. I was talking to my father-in-law trying to get the Scottish, Irish of what the McMahons are. And he only has like the information on the, like, since they've been in America.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to do like, and Johnny's like, maybe someday we can do like this big McMahon pilgrimage. And he said, I'm blanking on it now. He said there was something in the difference between an MC in the Mick
Mm-hmm.
and an MAC in the Mac. And I don't remember if that was Irish or Scottish. Now I'm just blabbing.
It's either that or it has some sort of other significance. I'm not sure, but I've never seen, like, my name McCoy is always MC.
Mm-hmm.
But for God's sake, capitalize the second C.
Oh my God. Can we also talk about how annoying it is to go in and do that second capital, like when you're typing on your phone?
Oh, yeah, but you have to.
Oh, you have to, but it's so annoying. I'm from May, which is like the easiest name.
Right. Like, I don't know any different.
Yeah. To McMahon, and I have to hit that arrow up. Capitalize that M. Also, I've never had to spell my name out for people before. So they're like, oh, McMahon, McMann, McMo.
There's a lot of variations.
Like, no, it's not like Ed McMahon. But
No. Hey-oh.
That's so great. So I have always said that I wanted to name my firstborn Eddie. Eddie is my dad's name, boy or girl. And someone recently was like, no, someone recently was like, you cannot name your kid Ed McMahon. I was like, well, it'd be Eddie McMahon. So,
Well, I mean, people are not.
right. And I was like, by the time that kid is born,
He will not have. No one will know who Ed McMahon was.
Ed McMahon is
But
going
we
to
will.
Shut
We
up.
will. It'll be my greeting.
Oh,
Hey-oh.
That's so good. So I have heard you say before, or let me rephrase. I have seen you before. One of your superpowers is using plaid as a neutral. And I feel like you have this insane, like, lifelong training in plaid where you know, like, really how to wear it. How do you do that? Because plaid is a scary thing. It holds a big punch. It holds a lot of colors. How on earth do you use plaid as a neutral?
I think because, first of all, plaid has a lot of colors in it.
Yeah.
So everything matches it. But I also, like, I tend to do more solid colors anyway. So therefore, plaid just matches all that.
Mm.
So,
Mhm.
like, I have a pair of, like, wool flats that are plaid, and it's like, well,
They go with everything.
they go with
'cause
everything.
They're your punch.
Plus, those are all, like, the colors I wear. Just kind of magically curated a wardrobe that
It's all plaid.
Well, no, I mean, I don't wear, like, a plaid shirt with a plaid. I mean, I don't really wear plaid shirts very often, but, like, I love accessories. Like,
Mm.
I will always have a plaid umbrella.
I love that. That's so classic.
And then it's like, oh, and then I always have, like, a neutral coat. And then I have, jeans. And,
Yeah.
So just kind of feels very straightforward. Like,
I think that Burberry does like that neutral plaid
Mhm.
really gorgeous. Like you can wear that, like you can get a Burberry scarf and wear it with like a North Face coat.
right. It goes, it just goes with everything.
Oh, that's awesome. I was just reminded about like the clans, the Irish clans coming up with their plaid, their tartan, excuse me. I recently did a newborn photo shoot for a family where the dad is from Senegal, and they have like their village has a certain fabric. And so we photographed the baby like wrapped in this, and it was so gorgeous. And when you were talking about like the Irish clans, like with their different plaids, it reminded me of that. And it's like, it's all over the world. It's so cool.
Right. I think that you see plaids in a lot of cultures because of just the, like you said, like the kind of like dyes and different fabrics that are local. And then weaving is just kind of a universal thing. Like people have woven things since they learned how to light a fire, right? I don't know. I'm just guessing. But weaving things is like a normal, like making usable things. So fabrics, right? What do you do especially in Senegal? Like,
right.
You use what you have in the area. So I think the whole plaid / tartan, it's everywhere.
So cool. So cool. So what's your favorite, jumping ship again, what's your favorite plaid pattern in your closet?
Well, it's probably on my umbrella.
I love that.
More than anything.
So much. And you have it? You have your plaid umbrella?
It's always going to rain.
This is good.
So that's called Royal Stewart.
Oh.
And that's like you said, like it's like your Christmas plaid. Yeah. It's like the tin of the Walker shortbread plaid.
Yeah.
Right? It's like when you think of plaid, it's like green and red. And then fun fact, I don't know if you've ever heard the term of dress plaid.
No.
But there's like plaids and then there's dress plaid. And I actually did not know this until recently.
Chic.
Basically, it's a primary color in the plaid and you replace it with white. So then it becomes like a more formal.
Oh my God.
So that's dress plaid. And then there's a thing called hunting plaid. And which I haven't seen very many examples, but I'm like, there's a hunting plaid. I'm like, these people have way too much time on their hands to have all these plaids. Like, I don't know.
I love this.
But it's done in like greens and browns, obviously. So.
Why isn't our military in plaid?
I don't know, but I think like if we checked out like the British military regiments, we'd probably find some serious plaids.
Right. It's so gorgeous.
I know.
Oh man.
It needs to be on everything.
Right? And I feel like this like pixelated camo that's happening in the sand right now.
Yes.
I mean, I can't talk about what the military is doing or why it looks like that, but I hate it. And they could have done it in plaid.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it just kind of looks more like a video game.
It does. It's very like 2-bit.
Yeah.
2-bit camo.
Yes.
I don't understand. I'm preaching to the choir here.
That's right.
It should be plaid.
We agree.
So your umbrella.
Yes.
It has like a white base. So it's really gorgeous. It goes with everything. I totally understand how it will go with anything. It's so good. And it reminds me of like the everyday items that are plaid. So like I'm thinking of the wool blanket that's like in everyone's trunk.
Yep.
What plaid is that?
It's
like usually like a red with a black, like a thick black
–
swatch and then like a yellow.
I don't know what that's called, but it's the thermos from the 1950s.
Yes.
It's the lunchbox from the 1950s.
Yes.
There's the whole 50s, 60s was all about plaid and like their lawn furniture and their car trips.
Can we just call that Sara McCoy plaid?
Yes.
Because that is the plaid that I always like. I remember like May Christmases, you would get like a gift of a thermos or a lunchbox, or maybe you were just showing me these things.
No, I did get a thermos from my best friend Kelly. She once for Christmas sent me a whole set of, it was a navy and like yellow and white plaid blanket and thermos.
Oh my God. See?
But do you remember when you were moving up here from college to go to grad school, and we were in Uptown, and you were trying to find a job?
Yeah.
You wanted to find like a retail job in a cool like boutique and stuff, and we went to
you drove me around.
Yeah, and we went to a secondhand store, and they had a plaid like a small or like weekender plaid suitcase, and I bought it.
You went ahead and bought it. I was like, give me this job.
And I have never used it for anything more than just
decoration.
No, it's just in my closet.
Oh, you should like put it out and decorate with it.
I have to be inspired, but it's too soft.
Oh,
like there's not a structure to it.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of a plaid accessory.
Right. Just eyeglass cases or just simple little things.
Yeah.
Because I think like when you talk about accessories, like as much as I love plaid, like I would not want a big red plaid couch. I just like that would be too much.
Your life would have to be so basic.
Yeah. So like pillows or,
yeah,
you know, just pops of it. But yeah, it would just be too much plaid.
But the idea of that yellow plaid wallpaper, and it was like a big plaid. In the Instagram post, I have to find it now. In the Instagram post, the rest of the furniture in the room was like a mustard. So it looked really cool, and it looked like you were walking into a Wes Anderson setting.
Yes. Oh, let's talk about that.
Which one?
The one with the campers.
The campers. Oh, yeah. What's it called?
Something Moonlight, Midnight.
Yeah, Moonlight Kingdom.
With the Moonrise Kingdom.
Moonrise Kingdom.
Yes.
Ding, ding. Ooh,
the aesthetic just sucked me in and made me so happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I love all his movies anyway, but it was just so perfect with the whole like Maine, camping, everything was plaid, and it was just like out of your childhood dreams.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That does look like a Sara McCoy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Yum. I have a question for you, and it's kind of on the spot. What is your all-time favorite celebrity plaid moment?
Well,
I did not give you this question in advance.
That's okay.
So I understand how it's tough.
There was a Patrick Dempsey rom-com, Maid of Honor, and he like is his best friend who's a girl who he really is in love with. She goes to get married in Scotland, and he's going to be her male of honor. I don't know what she called him. But he wore a kilt, and it was so funny because it was like he was just like I always knew he was, right? 80s actor, grew up freakishly handsome. I don't know how he managed to do that, but he really...
Big eyebrows.
Yeah.
He had big eyebrows from a young age.
He grew into them.
Yeah.
And he was just off of his like... just coming back in, and he got to do this movie, and he was so dreamy, but they put him in like a really awkwardly short kilt. Like really, really, really short, and it was so funny.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, dude, kilts are not supposed to be that short.
My first college crush, and I think this is why I had a crush on this guy, he played the bagpipes, and he wore a kilt when he played the bagpipes. And I didn't really know this guy, but I like really liked this idea of him.
Yeah.
And this is
like romantic and odd in a way.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And this is like going to bring me like full circle back to Johnny Sullivan moment. This was my freshman year, and I was living in the dorms in South Dakota, and it was 4 hours away from my hometown in Stacyville. And my dad was in the hospital, and so Dan Sullivan was the name of this kid I had a crush on, and he was like, I'll come help you move the heavy stuff. And I was like, oh, like this is my in.
Yes.
Like, oh my God. But then all of a sudden, my 75-year-old godfather, Johnny Sullivan, and your dad, Dan McCoy, came in with a truck. Like they drove all this way, moved my entire dorm room in like 15 minutes. And they're older dudes, and they're like heaving and hawing. And I was like, Johnny Sullivan, like, you can leave this refrigerator, like, leave my dorm fridge, like, checking my phone, because, like, Dan Sullivan. Well, also, like, hilarious because it was a combination of both of their names.
Kind of weird uncle
Yeah,
moment.
I know, but I, like, couldn't tell them that, like, there's this boy coming.
that I have a crush on.
And Johnny Sullivan's just like, no, I can do it. I'm going to get it. And he hauled it. And then I turned my keys in and I left. And then
no farewell to Dan Sullivan.
No. It worked
Can you
out
hear?
for the best.
Can you hear the bagpipes in the distance?
Yeah. Bye, Dan Sullivan. But like that's the kind of like sweet gesture. Like I'm not gonna think twice about heaving this heavy refrigerator.
Well, no, I mean it's like he's the kind of guy that he just wants to do. He's not a like sit around and talk kind of guy. Like I just want to do something to show my love for sweet Molly.
So precious. I loved it. I loved every second of having you on. Is there anything burning plaid that we missed?
I don't want to destroy your love of this tartan historical dream of yours.
Do it.
Okay.
Destroy it.
So, like, we talked about how, you know, this weaving fabric thing is kind of a universal thing. And, like, these plaids, tartans were created by, like, local weavers.
Mm-hmm.
The British are the ones who turned it into a whole name association thing. So, like, it was just normal and part of life. But then when the British were fighting with the Scottish, they decided to tell the Scottish, you can't wear plaid anymore. You can't wear your tartans, because that was their clan, right? So it was like, it unified them.
The British are horrible.
I know.
Poop.
I mean, the old British are.
Yeah.
So
We love Meghan.
So I just found it very interesting that it was really more of a Victorian, like mid 1800s kind of thing, where they're like, ooh, I want this plaid, and then, but I want that. And so they started like kind of customizing it and having it be assigned to different like royal things, like, you know, like the Black Watch plaid is used for their military, and like they associate it with the wealthy families had them made for them. And so it was just became an exclusive thing. But after the British outlawed them being able to wear plaid, they, you know, several decades later, they let them wear plaid again. Like the law was overturned. And then it became...
Here's what you can wear and what you cannot wear, entire country.
Right. And so they had to do it in secret, or, you know, so then when they got it restored to them, then it became a much more stronger symbol of their country.
That's amazing. Like, do you think they were having like underground
Yes!
plaid parties? Like, everyone come wearing your blessed plaid.
Like wear it under your pants.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I imagine that they did, because you tell somebody you can't, just we can talk about prohibition now. Like what you didn't think people drank just as much as is when prohibition wasn't in stated. Probably more and probably a lot worse.
Yeah. I gotta get it all in while I can.
Yeah, so that's like your mind blown tartan historical lesson. But otherwise, like,
you're so good.
But it makes you just feel like this is a cool tradition. Yeah. And it's just like there's meaning behind it. And I think that's cool when there's something more than just like, oh, that's cute, I like it.
I know. I love it. You have a plaid heart.
Well,
and I love that you have all this knowledge. Like, you've always had all this knowledge to back it up.
It's always mattered. And like, if you ask like one of my nieces, what's Sarah's favorite color?
Plaid.
Yeah.
That's so tender. I love that. Sara Plaid and Tall, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun to remember and reminisce about.
Oh my God,
like,
I know.
How we grew up together.
I know. So, people, if you're listening, don't be afraid to pair plaid with
Argyle.
Anything else. Smoochy, love you, Chabish. Bye.
And if you got this far in the pod, I'm impressed as fuck and really grateful to have you listening. If you want to know more information about me or the show, check out the show page on matriarchdm.com, where we host all of the What I Can't Take Off, our progressive Spotify playlist from the songs of the week, and obviously the reminder of who to follow for the week, all in a nice little fucking Matriarch Digital Media bow. Theme song is MollyMay by Ben Karen. Like, I'll never get over saying that. It's so good, right? Thanks for listening. You're so cute.